Look, I've seen a lot of this crap, these people talking shit, and it's irritating me. It's irritating me because these people are spreading lies. It's like they revel in their own oppression. Not just the oppressors, they worship their oppressors, but they revel in their own oppression. And they do it vehemently against their own needs. It makes no sense. The Anglosphere, hell, not even the Anglosphere, the entire world, it's not a meritocracy. It's a plutocracy. It's a global plutocracy. Those who start life at the bottom usually stay there and enjoy generational poverty and very little else. Our political elites tend to be self-serving careerists that are married to the neoliberal free market economics, regardless of what side of the aisle they're on. It makes no difference who's in power. And these jackanandies speak of this meritocracy like it's some end all to be all, but it's a myth. It's propagandized myth promoted by the elite, by the ruling classes, to justify why they should have more than everyone else, while stifling the progress of those on the bottom. If it were true about upper mobility, they wouldn't try to monopolize everything and lock people out of businesses and markets with arbitrary licensing fees and regulations that take lots of resources. Resources the common man doesn't have and he usually can't afford, which keeps him highly limited, which is to keep out competition and stop free enterprise. That's what these people want. So Bill Gates was doing hardcore in the 90s. The same Bill Gates whose mommy called him in the favorite is how he came up. Most of these things, most success is achieved by breaking the rules that they set for us. If you want to come up, you got to break the rules. They say meritocracy is a natural byproduct of their hard work, but it's obvious, even to them, that the opposite's occurring. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's hopeless. I'm not saying or encouraging people to give up. I just want you some bitches to realize the deck is stacked against you and the dice are loaded. There's an element of humanity where you feel it most at home. You don't want to leave your shells, your little bubbles, your cultural bubbles, your social bubbles. You don't want to step out of that. One of the ways to achieve is you have to adopt that limited personality. It's kind of that sterilized human being, while maintaining enough confidence and social skills to still be useful at that level. That's why people often say that people at the corporate level are kind of fruity, because you have to adapt that non-threatening personality, but at the same time be tough enough to get in people's faces and get stuff done. And a lot of people lack that blend. They lack that able to switch up. But that's only one aspect of it. It's only one aspect. There's a lot of intelligent people that just can't get ahead because of that, but it's not just about that. And another thing is these people that are absorbing tons of useless information. Well, it's not useful. It's not useless. It's very useful, but they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to use it at all. They just absorb it, and they use it to argue. They use it to talk to chicks. They use it in little bar conversations, but they can't really use it to the next level. It's like having millions of dollars sitting in a barrel somewhere that you can't spend. It's ridiculous. It's probably that's another reason why they stopped the drug dealers in the 80s and 90s, because they knew some of those guys were trying to transition over to legit stuff. They were like, why did they ever go legit? They made sure they didn't go legit. The Haiti strategy. You cut the legs from under them economically, and then say that they're incompetent. But anyway, it's an entire system put up against people. It's put up against people to keep the social order going in a way that's not threatening. Like the ignominious claim that the only thing stopping people is people. They're saying that poverty is a lack of effort. It's something to shame the poor and demonize them for wanting livable wages. And what I mean by livable wages is wages that would offset welfare. They would increase spending due to disposable income and decrease crime because they don't have to steal shit that they want to get. These same assholes usually propagate the idea that universal health care is akin to Nazism. But the truth is that it will take the burden off of corporations to provide care to people, and healthier people will be able to work more and have more disposable income. But see, there's a reason for this. It's not just random. There's a real reason for this. And that reason is, how can I put this? It's about control. Every one of those problems is a racket in and of itself. It's a racket in and of itself. Like divorce. Divorce is usually caused by money, and lawyers love to start shit when you try to reconcile because go through a lot of arbitration because all that shit is more money in their pocket. People getting sick is more money in their pocket. People eating garbage is more money in their pocket. People suing people for eating garbage is more money in their pocket. People suing people for smoking is more money in their pocket. People smoking is more money in their pocket. It's a huge, gigantic racket on all levels. And they don't want it to stop. And another problem is wage theft. Wage theft is rampant right now. Instead of giving people livable wages for this booming economy from the change man, people who aren't supervisors are made to sign on as salaried workers so they don't have to be paid overtime. Keeps people stressed out and underpaid so they don't have time to think. And you can't use that dollar to fight the machine, so you have to fight them on their terms. And usually in their favor. See, what happened in the 60s was a lot of, they focused on the civil rights movement to take the focus off of what happened in the 60s. There were a lot of people working in factories, there were a lot of people working all these jobs that paid well. And healthcare was a totally different system than it is now. It was totally different, it's basically free. It's a very, very, very different system. And basically people who had agendas, homos, blacks, Mexicans, laborers, and Native Americans, everybody who was working, they had all these grievances and problems they wanted solved. They were almost there. They just shut all that shit down. In the 70s, they started dismantling everything. Like the FCC, for instance, was created for the people, to protect the people's freedom of speech in the media. Protect journalists in the media. Back then, if something like 9/11 happened, you could easily go to George Bush and be like, George Bush, you're lying. Saudi Arabia had something to do with this. It wasn't a lone organization, and we think you did it, and this is BS. You can't do that anymore. You tell Obama he's a liar, you're done. Hell, he has hand-picked reporters. Same with Bush. I think the Dixie chick said something about him. They got shut down like they were anti-Semitic. It's insane. So they don't want you fight. They don't want you fight on your terms. You got to fight on their terms. It's like race. The discussion on race. There's a perpetual discussion. Everything's perpetual now. Perpetual war. Perpetual discussion on race. It's usually on their terms, so that it doesn't stop. And everybody's in their place, while this static government stays there. The elites are protected by this static government. And the people can't fight with their dollar anymore. All they can do is fight for what they need, get what they need, because it's easier to facilitate need than it is to facilitate want. They don't have to. If you want it, you can just be like, yeah, I don't really need that. I don't want to do that. I don't need this. I want to boycott. And you can hold out, not a don't buy Monsanto products for one day, or the health care. What the hell is that dumb shit they're about to do? What the hell is it called? It's lame. I saw it the other day. The climate change march. Shut the fuck up. This is crap. This is all a bunch of crap. People can't really fight anymore. They showed Occupy. People were really trying with Occupy, and it went down exactly how I knew it was going to go down. It's unfortunate because I wanted it to succeed, but I knew it was going to go down like that. You can't fight the machine if you fight on their terms, and they're facilitating your needs. And they don't have and they're doing it in a way where they don't have social welfare, but at the same time, you're making slave wages, even though they collect like $250 billion a year. $250 billion a week in taxes. They go to the fucking military, and then they double down their efforts to maintain the status quo by propagating this survivalist mentality in an advanced civilization that runs counter to the realities of today's world. There's no reason to ration and scrounge like an animal. We aren't crows or baboons in the fucking savannah. There's an abundance of food to the point that governments subsidize it to keep food prices high, like I said before. This is a world where medical technology and sanitation methods have allowed people in even the most destitute areas to live longer. Hell, T.D. Jakes is going around making clean water for people. I mean, he's spreading Jesus trash, but it's easier to do. If a church could go to butt crack Africa and teach an Ethiopian how to pull water out of the ground and make it clean and recycle it, and go to India and teach them how to pull water out of their shithole nasty river and clean it and drink it, I mean, what does that tell you? There's no reason to be living like this anymore. I mean, the intent is clear. It's to stifle people and to keep them in line and distracted with nonsense, and the only thing they can do is escape in entertainment and hyper companionship. Instead of fighting the machine, they're obsessed with finding a mate. But then they're broke, so they won't last with the mate. You see what I'm saying? Like it's an entire system, and then they make money off of the fact that you're trying to start a family. They make money off the fact that you're trying to end your family. They make money off the fact that that you're getting sick. They make money off the fact that you're not sick. They make money off the fact that you eat trash. They make money off the fact that you don't want to eat trash. Like, they're just every aspect of life. Not just like money was created to I guess manage labor, but now it's a tool to manage every aspect of life. It literally is an anti-life equation. It's literally, and it's not the money that's evil. It's the people behind the goddamn money, because it's all about control, and they use the media to basically ossify people, ossify politicians, also push and lead agendas onto the masses, and it's just obvious that most of these narratives resemble the establishment talking to itself while drowning out alternative medias and independent journalists. That's why they'll drown out anything outside of their fixed stories. And this is why they want to end net neutrality. And this is why they keep spreading lies and telling everybody who doesn't believe their BS that they're a government subversive and a terrorist supporter and a dictator lover and a rapist and a killer and a Nazi and all this other dumb shit. That's all it is. The lies. The government is your enemy, and it doesn't represent you. And you can't change it anymore because it's nothing but rotating figureheads that are all in bed together and have been for the past 50 years. Bitch.